Hey there, everyone, and happy Thursday. I'm Fox News meteorologist Jennifer Lambers with a look at your forecast. And again, this is just part of our daily 2 p.m. Facebook Live, plus also your weather app update. And so I'd love to make sure that you guys are able to see me, interact with me. I'm not quite sure if my Facebook is working. I hope that it's just me and it's still working just fine for everyone else. So just let me know if you're able to see and interact with me. Again, you can do that on Facebook in the comments there. I'm trying to pull it up on my phone. There we go. Yeah. So it's just my computer, not one to work for today, but I can still just interact with you guys. If you have any questions, comments that you guys want to ask about the forecast, just feel free to drop the questions right there. Luckily, I can still see that. But let's go ahead and dive into the forecast. I don't know if you guys stepped outside earlier today, but it was feeling a lot better out there. And so I was really happy about that just because the humidity, it's less. We were experiencing our dew points in the mid 60s. So you can still feel it. It's still a little noticeable, but it's not unbearable outdoors. You're not feeling that whenever you breathe, you're not feeling that humidity out there. So a little bit better, but now we are starting to warm up. So I wanted to go ahead and talk just a little bit more about your forecast and what we are starting to see out there. Earlier this morning, we were tracking just some of those isolated showers. Now mainly really starting to see some of those improvements. Again, not as active with some of the storms. They're mainly just staying around us, not interfering with us. If you saw some of those isolated sprinkles early this morning, they were mainly impacting northern Clark County, Monroe County, but now you can start to see them just around us, possibly even just some light rain pushing into Mississippi. Now, the temperatures, as we make our way into the rest of today, that will continue to warm up. I am only expecting these daytime highs to continue to max out in the mid to upper 80s. Possibly a little cooler for our inland areas, really just starting to see some of those lower to mid 80s, mainly where we saw some of that rain earlier, but closer towards the coast, upper 80s. And as mentioned earlier, the humidity, it's not as high, so we're not going to be feeling as warm out there. And so I did want to take a look at today's almanac, and we are right around how we should be feeling for this time of year. Temperatures resting in the upper 80s. Our low temperatures, they're also near that point. Luckily, nowhere near a record 97 degrees back in 1911. So that's going to be the good news. Nowhere near that heading into today, feeling how we should. But again, I mentioned the humidity. One thing that's slowly going to be changing over the next few days is the wind. It is out of the southeast. It's calm right now, right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And so it is slowly beginning to influence the forecast. Easterly winds as we make our way overnight, so still staying calm out there. But the muggy meter, dew points, they feel great today. We're in the mid 60s. So mid 60s for today. You slowly see those tick up heading into tomorrow. And then by the weekend, we're back into the 70s. Now, the trade-off is that we are introducing more showers and thunderstorms, so that is reflective there that that's when we would expect our humidity to go up. But you will also notice the difference with the temperatures is that by Saturday afternoon, if we see more sunshine and less of that rain coverage, then we will be feeling the differences, especially with some of that humidity. Now, also, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the comfort scale as well. Today, we're in that noticeable category, and so you can feel a little bit of that humidity out there. However, once we make our way into the next few days, we're going to quickly fall into that uncomfortable / miserable category. So I know that when I was driving in today, it felt decent. I was driving with the windows down. It was still pretty cool outside. It felt okay, especially driving over Mobile Bay. But I know that I'm probably not going to want to do that over the next few days, especially once we get to the weekend when our humidity does begin to go back up. Now, I did want to take a live view outside right now at the beaches. It looks beautiful out there. I mean, the vibrancy of the Gulf water really beginning to return, especially closer towards the shoreline. Just beginning to see the bright blues and the greens out there. Perdido Pass looks nice. Robinson Island also looking pleasant. Not that many boats out there. Traffic moving smoothly. Temperatures right now resting in the mid 80s. Easterly winds a little breezy, 15 miles per hour. And then the dew points. This is at the coast, and we're resting in the lower 60s, so the feels like temperatures a degree off. That is great. Just a few days ago, although we were in the 80s, we were feeling more like the triple digits down at our local beaches, and so this is a really nice change in comparison to what we've been battling for the past few days. And in case you were thinking about heading on down towards the coast, the rip current risk, it's low for today, tomorrow, and then by Saturday and heading into Sunday and even to start off next week, it will be changing. That's when we're going to start to notice it bumping up to moderate. So please be cautious at the local beaches if that's what you're planning on doing for this weekend. That is when we will notice some changes. And in addition to that, not only is the rip current risk going to be changing, the humidity is going to be changing, but our rain chances are going to be changing as well. And so that's when we're going to start to notice heading into Saturday and Sunday, we're introducing more of those rain chances. So in case you do have any outdoor weekend plans, just make sure you stay updated with the forecast. We have some timing out there right now, but this is going to change by the time we do get closer. So I did want to go ahead and just take a look at what we're tracking out there. And so this is the Futurecast to start off for this morning. Heading into this afternoon, things, they're calm, they're quiet out there. We're seeing some sunshine, just a few clouds. And then as we make our way heading into the overnight hours, really some isolated showers possible. Those chances are continuing to stay low. And then we start off for your Friday morning. And that's when we're going to start to see more of that sunshine to begin the day. It's feeling okay. Again, the humidity not as high. And then heading into the afternoon, I'm still keeping that 20% chance. But the good news is that the Futurecast, it really wants to keep us dry and quiet heading into tomorrow. And then things change heading into your Saturday. Overnight, that's when we start to introduce some of these more widespread heavy showers, and it continues to stay scattered to start off for Saturday morning and heading into Saturday afternoon. So you start to see more of that rain coverage right around lunchtime to begin your Saturday. So if you have outdoor plans to begin the morning, just make sure you have a backup plan ready to go in case you do have to move that inside. But as mentioned earlier, this is still a few days away. The timing is going to be changing once we get closer. So just stay tuned to us. You can download the Fox 10 weather app. That way you know of any changes in the forecast. And then as we make our way into Saturday night, that right there is a look that I really like to see, is that it has this beginning to quiet down. So Saturday night plans, it's looking okay. It wants to bring in some stray showers or thunderstorms possibly closer towards the coast. Again, still a long ways away for any of the specific placements in this Futurecast to verify, but it really just wants to bring in an isolated look later in the evening. So again, stay updated to us, but that's looking so much better. Hurricanes right now. It's quiet out there, but we are in full swing. We've been busy for the past few days preparing our hurricane special, which is hopefully set to air next week. So we're excited to bring that to you. Because we are expecting an above average season. And the National Hurricane Center, they began issuing these advisories on May 15th. Hurricane season officially begins this Saturday, which is June 1st. And luckily things are calm and quiet right now. However, we are expecting active conditions. So just make sure, double check with your insurance. Now, while things are calm and quiet, that's the time that you're checking these. Make sure you're not in a flood zone. If you are, double check that you have that flood insurance, that you've paid it for this year, that there's no lap in coverage going on. I know that a lot of people have been having some difficulties with some insurance companies here, either being dropped. I mean, mine had a complete name change, so just make sure that you're checking your email, verifying everything, because I was a little surprised when the name change happened. I was like, who am I getting emails from with this company? So again, just double check that you have that insurance and double check the coverage that you have on it. Because that's going to be so important. Not rooting for any tropical weather heading into this year, but now's the time to just make sure that you are covered throughout the entire season, which does go until November 30th. But as mentioned, things are calm and quiet right now, something that we like to see. Also, I really wanted to mention this one too, our rainfall almanac. I was mentioning this earlier. We are double what we should be typically for the month of May. We have seen over 10 inches of rainfall. This will be for Mobile Regional. Other areas across the Gulf Coast, you've picked up a lot more rain. Some areas haven't picked up quite as much. So again, this is mainly for Mobile Regional that we're seeing these numbers come from, but over doubled what we typically see during this month. And for the year, we were in a deficit for a while heading into this month, about a 3-inch deficit. And now what we're starting to see is major improvements there. Actually more than a 3-inch deficit. We are seeing quite the deficit. So now for the year, we're about 29 inches. And so we are above average for this time of year and only expecting more rain heading into this weekend. But we are the wettest area in the U.S., but there's some little pieces to that. It's the continuous U.S. that we are the wettest, and it's in terms of average measured rainfall, just like that. Not so much days that see rain, but it's measured rainfall that we see the most, and very reflective in our almanac. Taking a look at our full 7-day outlook heading into the weekend, our temperatures take a little bit of a tumble, but still expecting those rain chances to continue to go up. 60% for both Saturday and Sunday. These will fluctuate as we get closer and once we get a better look at the timing. Futurecast models still in disagreement. They've been doing this for about the past few months now, really showing completely different stories. So that's why it's so important to just stay updated with us, download the Fox 10 weather app. But that's really what we're leaning towards the timing. Right now, it wants to bring the majority of that closer towards early morning and the afternoon. Evening looks great for your Saturday. Sunday still continuing that scattered look. And then looking into next week, it's our very first full week of June. And sunshine reemerges, isolated showers possible, but the temperatures, it's something I like to see, not straying too far away from what we typically see for this time of year. Again, in case you're just now joining us on the Facebook Live, just feel free to drop your name, where you're watching from, what you think of the weather out there. Always something that we like to see, get to know you as well. We will continue to do these daily Facebook Lives at 2 o'clock, plus also in case you can't catch us on Facebook, you can also download the Fox 10 News app. We live stream there for the 2 o'clock coverage as well in any of your streaming platforms. If you have Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick, we have the Fox 10 app there, and you can just join our 2 o'clock live stream. That way, this is more of an in-depth look at the forecast, and as always, if you have any questions specifically for us, then you can ask them here as well. But I wish everyone a happy Thursday. Luckily, I'm okay with this weather that we're seeing. Now that the humidity is not as high, it's still warm out there, but it's how we should be feeling for this time of year. As long as the humidity isn't feeling too high out there, this is something that I root for. But again, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope that you have a fantastic Thursday, and we will see you back here tomorrow.